Today we're going to talk about the important water topic and achieving long-term security, and our goal to make harsh water restrictions a thing of the past. We will discuss with local experts to reflect on the past, but more importantly, we look to the future on our water prosperity. We have with us Mr. Gavin Hanlon, Managing Director of Coliban Water, to talk about water security in our area. Welcome, Gavin.
Good morning.
Gavin, the first thing I'd probably like to talk about is the current state of our water storages, in particular with all the rain that we've had, and it's obviously looking good at the moment.
Yeah, our storages have never been so good, or our water position's never been so good. Currently in our own storages we're at about 90%, which is about 64,000 megalitres of water. In Epiloch we have about another 54,000 megalitres of water. In the Eildon system, with things like the super pipe, it means that we've actually got water over there as well, which is about another 28,000 megalitres. On top of that, we've got the recycled water factory producing a couple of thousand megalitres every year, which means our total position now is about 10 to 15% more than we've ever had in history, so it's a very nice place to be.
So the super pipe obviously made some pretty big impact into Bendigo.
It sure has. Without the super pipe, Bendigo would have run out of water a couple of years ago, and I think it's pretty easy to criticise big infrastructure projects like that, but it's a pretty scary thought to think that Bendigo would have been out of water without it. So now it just presents new opportunities for us in terms of how we make sure that harsh restrictions are a thing of the past.
With the recycled water, the situation, I went past the gardens the other day with some beautiful tulips out. That's currently being used again, is it? The recycling at this stage? Or
yeah,
not?
So at the moment we've got a balancing storage that we try to fill over winter and then top up during the year so that we can supply councils, and there's a couple of industrial customers, and we'll be supplying some recycled water to our rural customers this year as well. So it's a bit of a balancing act at the moment. During the middle of the drought when there wasn't much water around, everyone wanted it, but now there's more water around. There'll be a few people saying, well, I wouldn't mind some of the other water, but part of the benefits of having things like that is that we can substitute potable water, which means that it lasts longer, with some of the recycled water. So I think it's a higher reliability product, if you like, but it has some different characteristics to it as well.
We've just gone from stage 4 down to, from the 1st of October, to modified stage 2, and I know that you have been publicising what modified stage 2 does mean. Can you really just give us a bit of an oversight of what we can and we can't do with that modified stage 2? Yeah,
look, it's pretty much the same as stage 3, except it gives you an extra day, so you get a couple of hours extra in the morning, a couple of hours extra overnight on another day. As we move closer to Christmas, our plan is to ease restrictions and get to stage 1 sometime early in the new year. We're doing a pretty major upgrade of the treatment plant at the moment. When you're treating water from multiple sources, your treatment plants have to be able to deal with new inputs, and so there's about a $20 million in total investment going on out there at the moment. It's a very complex investment, very complex project, and hopefully it'll be it's on track to be finished sometime around Christmas. Give it a bit of a time to commission it, and then sometime in the new year we'll be able to ease restrictions.
Gavin, with the modified stage 2, just want to ask the question, there's a lot of heated debate around town whether we should be allowed or shouldn't be allowed to water our lawns. So what is the situation with that?
I think ultimately we'd like to provide our customers with choice as to how and when they use water, provided that choice isn't impacting on others. Right now, with the upgrade of the treatment plant going on, the slight move in or slight easing of restrictions is about providing water that's available with a little bit of extra capacity we have in the current treatment plant. There's just not enough water to go that little bit further to provide for people to water lawns and those sort of things. But we expect that to be the case going into early in the new year when the upgrades are finished, and then at that point in time people can have the choice as to what and when and how they use their water within the current rules that are in place.
That obviously helps with your cash flow, of course, because your user pays system hasn't been working all that well because there hasn't been a user pay. So obviously that changes the whole aspect and financial stability of Coliban and going in the future.
Yeah, look, for the last 3 or 4 years, financially we've been hit with a few challenges. Revenue's been down, we haven't been able to sell as much water, but expenditure's been up because the water we've actually had to buy it on the temporary market as well, so we've been hit at both ends. Now with our storages filling up, having a bit of water, we've got a bit of choice about where we take water from. our financial position should improve pretty dramatically over the next couple of years. I think the important thing is we recognise that this was financially we needed to have a more sustainable pathway a couple of years ago, and we've been working with our pricing regulator to put us on a more sustainable pricing path. So prices went up this year. Over the next 2 or 3 years, of course, regulators being what they are, they won't want us to make super profits, which is what they call them. But I think it's more likely that after 3 or 4 years of making $20 million plus losses, we won't get excited about that for a couple of years until they actually happen. I think the other thing for us in revenue is that we're in new ground as well. I mean, historically on stage 1 people would have used a lot of water, but in the last 5-6 years people have invested in tanks, in grey water systems, in mulching their gardens. So I think behaviourally people won't use as much water as they had done in the past as well. So this year will just be a bit of an experiment, if you like, to see actually what are the new patterns of consumption when we do ease restrictions. I think we're heading into a new world.